I bought a whole box of radish because it was only $9.99 from H Mart, and so now I'm slowly working my way through the box of radish. So let's start off today making some Musaengchae, which is like a julienne radish kimchi, but it doesn't need to ferment, so you can eat it right away. And I'm also thinking some sort of Jigae because it's kind of cold, so probably Soondubu since I have some soft silken tofu to use up. But let's just jump right into it. It's going to be a longer cooking video, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to lightly rinse this off because I'm going to rinse it again after I peel off the first layer. I'm just going to peel off some of these rougher parts. Although I love the green part of a radish, it's so sweet. And this is winter mu, so it's going to be extra sweet. And then I'm going to cut it into about 1 centimeter thick discs. Now I'm going to lightly salt this and just mix this up. 너무 많은데? I almost should have broken out my big kimchi bowl for this. I'm just going to put a lid on this. I'm not really closing it. I just don't want things to fall into it while I let it salt. I'm going to just put this off to the side and work on my next banchan. Next, I'm going to make Ojingeochae. This is dried squid. It looks like this. And this is 150 grams. I'm going to rinse this in some water first while I get the sauce ready. Here's what it looks like. You can technically just eat it like this as like a yummy snack. Okay, let's just set this off to the side. Before I get started on that though, I know I'm completely out of garlic, so I'm just gonna go ahead and mince up and then freeze some of this. I just like to mince this all up and then I'll freeze it. This allows me to have the fresh tasting garlic that I enjoy because I know you can technically buy like minced garlic from the grocery store, but it also doesn't taste as good. And then I take one of these silicone bags. I just think these do a better job than a regular Ziploc bag in terms of keeping the garlic smell pretty contained, since these tend to be thicker. Get all of this off here. Get all the air out, seal it up. And although it's all one piece like this, whenever I need to use it, it's completely frozen. So I'll just kind of like drop it like this on the counter and it breaks up into pieces and I'll just use that piece. So I just like to do this instead of making little grid lines and then having to lay it flat. Let's make the sauce for the squid banchan. 2 tablespoons of gochujang. 1, 2, 1. Okay, 1.5 tablespoons of sugar. Let's do some mirin. 1, 2. I'm going to use a little bit of ketchup for extra sweetness because I don't want to use any more sugar, but I can't get it opened. Maybe not quite a tablespoon. I'm gonna put my stove onto low to medium. And then we're going to just pour the sauce in here. I just remembered I forgot to add a little garlic in here because I was packing up all the garlic. So I'm just going to do like half a tablespoon just directly in the sauce. Once it starts bubbling like this, you're going to turn the heat off. and remove it from the heat and let it cool down a little bit. Just going to stir it so it doesn't burn. Once it's cooled down, you're going to add in your squid. And then just mix this up. And you want to do this off the heat because if you do it on the heat, the squid's just going to become too hard. And that's not really the texture that we're going for. Oops. Going to add a tablespoon of sesame seed oil. Maybe a little less actually. And some sesame seeds. To finish this off with a little extra sesame seeds. Oh my god, that's not sesame seeds, that's gochugaru. Sesame seeds for real this time. Here's what it looks like. Ignore the extra gochugaru that I added on top. Now I'm going to rinse off all that extra salt from the radish. Okay, time to season the radish. This is just the garlic spoon that I had earlier, but I like to start off with gochugaru. I'm gonna do quite a bit. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna do all of this. This is probably about 5 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons of garlic. 3 tablespoons of fish sauce. Oops. 3. Vinegar, maybe 2 actually. Sugar, 2 teaspoons to start. Musaengchae is technically a type of kimchi, but it doesn't need to be fermented, and some recipes don't even salt it. I just like to salt it a little bit because otherwise it's just going to release so much liquid. But since it's not fermented, it doesn't last forever. I like to try to eat this up within a week or so. Let me do a taste test. I think it's pretty good. I could do a little bit more gochugaru if I wanted it spicier, but it's kind of nice like this. Very mellow. Just going to transfer some of this into Tupperware. Really grabbing it from the bottom as I go. Put some onto a plate to eat right now. Just going to wipe off. And then I'm going to store this in the refrigerator and eat it for the next week or so. Now it's time to make some rice. If you want your rice cooker to last a long time, you have to wipe it down. I don't know why, that's just what people say. And then see you in about 20-25 minutes. Okay, now let's make the stuff for Soondubu Jigae. First, we're going to make some green onion oil, some avocado oil to the bottom of my tteokbokki. I'm going to add a couple of peppers in there. Now you're going to add in your other alliums. So I'm going to add in my onions and approximately half my garlic. So I'll probably end up using about a tablespoon of garlic, so I'm going to do half a tablespoon now. I like to do half now because it adds a nice rich flavor to the green onion oil that we're making. But if you add garlic too early to your dish, it can lose its flavor, and I still want my soup to taste really garlicky at the end. So I'll add the other half at the very end. Might actually add a little bit more oil But instead of more avocado oil, I'm going to add a little bit of pepper oil. This is gochushgiram. This is optional. You can definitely just stick to your neutral oil. I just wanted a little bit spicy, so I'm going to add a little bit of that in there. Once your onions become a little translucent, we're going to add in the gochugaru. I'm going to start out with 1.5 tablespoons. This is the same thing as this. I just buy a big bag like this and refill my smaller container because I can pour or scoop from this one. Stir fry this. Now I'm going to add some brisket. 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. If you are not a fan of beef, you could also do seafood or kimchi. I'm going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of sugar over the meat. This is just going to help tenderize it and balance out the spicy flavors. Now I'm going to add in some water. I have about 2 cups or 500 milliliters of water here. Oh, whoops. And then just let this come to a boil. I just rinse these. And we're going to cut our soondubu. Oof. Once it starts boiling like this, just give it a stir to make sure nothing is stuck to the bottom. And now we are going to very gently put in our tofu. This is extra soft tofu. I'm really scared of the splatter, so. And we're just going to break this up a little bit. And now we're going to add in the rest of our veggies, starting with the hardest stuff first, so squash, some peppers, of course, the enoki mushrooms. Ooh, this is full. It's okay. Add some of those green onions that we have left over. This is very full, oh my god. We have to add in the rest of that garlic. 나 큰일 났는데 여기다가 계란을 어떻게 넣어? 말도 안 돼. I think it needs a little bit of salt, so we're gonna salt to taste. Okay, and then at the very end, you're going to add 1 egg. Please don't spill over. I would recommend covering this, but I really think it's going to spill over if I cover it. So I'm gonna let it cook a little bit first and then see if I can cover it. Yeah, I can. 잘 먹겠습니다. Let's try the 순두부. 맛있다. This is the brisket from H Mart, the 차돌배기. Could I get the Yukgaejang, please? Thank you. Something else?
There was, wasn't there?
I don't remember.
Yeah. I don't either.
I'm so excited for them. We need to get all of those things next. Do you almost want to go Friday night? Next Friday night?
Yeah, just knock it out. It'd be better probably than Saturday morning. Saturday morning's going to be worse. Actually, Sunday.
Unless we go like right at opening.
That's what I was saying. We definitely, no matter what, we should go right. Well, we can't go on Friday, but like, no matter what, we should go right at opening.
Yeah. We can see how busy and tired you are next week. Because yay, thank you. Oh my gosh, it's so big. It's like, look how big it is. Oh my god. And you got the spicy chicken and sausage. And I got the Yukgaejang. There's so much food in here. today is a beautiful day. I don't know if you can see how much sunlight is coming in, but it's around lunchtime and I'm thinking about making some Korean chon since Lunar New Year is just around the corner and I have all of the ingredients. But I think before I do that, I need to give Archie a little snack. Hello, Archie. Would you like a lunch snack? Yeah, you want lunch snack? Okay. This is from Costco. Okay, so what I usually do is break it into two like this, and then I put it into his Kong so that he can enjoy it for a little bit longer. Okay, Archie, go crate. Good boy. Gentle. Wait. Okay. Good boy. You got it? And he usually likes to eat it in his bed. Okay. I think I need to cut everything up first to the size of this pan. Oh my god, it smells so good! Let me size this. All right, so I probably need to cut off like this much. I need to go get a wet paper towel. Hold on. If you place a wet rag or paper towel underneath your cutting board, it doesn't move it as much. Next, I'm going to cut the kemasal. I have 9 here, so I guess I'm making a lot. I feel like this always happens to me. Okay, there's 2. Ten years ago, I remember if you told like a non-Asian person that you were eating imitation crab, they would be really grossed out. Now it's like kimbap has become so mainstream that everybody kind of knows what imitation crab is. I'm going to kind of size it to the ham, and it looks like I need to cut off about 1 centimeter. Next, I'm going to cut tanmuji. This is Korean pickled radish, and this is specifically the kind made for kimbap, so it's already in long strips. But I don't want to cross-contaminate this because I know I'm not going to eat all of this for this. I'm just going to cut it with a different knife. Maybe 4. To trim off the roots. I personally like more green onion in each chon, so I'm probably going to do 2 of these per. Maybe like that. Okay, now we're going to just move this off to the side for a second. This is just regular flour. You can use Korean pancake mix if you have it, or even frying mix. I'm just gonna use flour though. And same thing with the tanmuji and green onion. This will just help the egg wash stick onto each of the ingredients a little bit more, but you don't want to make it too thick. Now let's make our egg wash. A little salt to break up the egg protein and also to season it. To my pan, I'm going to use a little bit of avocado oil. Any neutral oil will work. I really hope this works because I don't feel like skewering each of these and flipping them. I remember growing up, my grandma would do all of this on the floor. It would be like a whole family affair. We would make all different types of chon. We'd be sitting on the floor with like a butane gas burner, kind of like the ones that you would take camping, and we would all just fry chon for like hours at a time essentially. But we never did it this way, so if this ends up working, it's gonna be amazing. I'm trying to do like a thin layer. And then I'm going to take one of these and just start stacking them. And then a green onion. And then let's do a yellow. A ham. Another green onion. This is what it looks like right now. Oh, not bad. That looks pretty good. I think the chon hack worked. It's not the best since it was my first time, but I think now I know exactly what I need to do to make it better. I definitely need to add more oil on this side, I think, to crisp it up. But otherwise, it looks pretty good. Let me show you. And I cut it. I kind of want to just try one right now. Cheers. That's really good. Let's make more. I actually think when you cook it like this, you don't really need to add a ton of flour because the egg kind of keeps it all together. Egg. Ham, green onion, ham. Yes. The second one is a lot better. I think I should let it cool before I cut into it this time though. Okay, I've plated it and this is what it looks like. All in all, I think it turned out pretty well. Let's go eat it. I think I'm going to have it with some Musaengchae that I made. I think this will cut the greasiness a tad. Okay, 잘 먹겠습니다. 맛있게 생겼다. 할머니 생각난다. I don't think I've ever talked about this publicly, but my Korean grandma pretty much raised me because both my parents were working full-time when I was growing up, and I actually shared a room with her, so I really did spend like all day with her unless I was in school. And my grandma passed away in 2010, so it's been 15 years since she passed away, and I still think about her like every single day. And often it's with like food because I think my grandma showed me love in a lot of different ways, but food was one of the primary ways that she showed love to everyone, not just myself. And a lot of Korean food reminds me of my grandma, especially stuff like this that's more traditional that I hardly ever eat. I might eat this like maybe once a year, and honestly I haven't had it in years because there's so many different types of traditional Korean food that you would eat on holidays like Seollal, and this just happens to be one of the ones that I was craving.